Hello, everyone. Let's look at chapter 25 of the book of Psalms together. So, I want to ask you a question. how's your how's your life? How you doing? What's your outlook to 2026? Are you feeling confident, or you feel like, you know what, I really don't know how I'm going to get through this, looking at what I've done in the past, or what you've gone through in the past? And I think that's how David felt like in chapter 25. But you know what? He did something that was amazing, and that maybe that's something we should start looking at as well. He called on to God. Not only did he call on to God, but he called on to God and asked for wisdom, asked for direction. But in doing that, he says, "Oh Lord, I give my life to you." Maybe now is the time that we should surrender our lives to God and let Him guide us. And that's what David did. Let's read verse 1 and 2. Like I said, it says, "Oh Lord, I give my life to you, I trust in you, my God. Do not let me be disgraced, nor let my enemies rejoice in my defeat." And that's it. So, number one, if we want to have a life that's worth living, if we think that 2026 is going to be hard for us, let's call out to God. But in calling out to God, first we need to surrender ourselves, let ourselves give our lives to God. Verse 4 says, "Show me the right path, O Lord. Point me the road for me to follow. Lead me by your truth and teach me." Let the word of God be the guide that will show us the right path in 2026. He says, "For you are the God who saves me." And I love this from verse 7 and 8. Yeah, he says, "Do not remember the rebellious sins of my youth, but remember me in the light of your unfailing love, for you are merciful, God." In other words, God, I have done wrong, and on my own I cannot be forgiven. But he says, "Do this because you are a faithful God, because of your unfailing love." What's God's unfailing love to us? That's Jesus on the cross. That just shows us just how faithful and loving God is. And rightly so. Then we should run to Him and ask for forgiveness. And he continues on with this theme of not only crying out to God for wisdom. He gives us like his life to God. He cries out to wisdom, to ask for forgiveness, but he also humbles himself. Verse 9, he says he leads the humble in doing right, teaching them his way. He acknowledges that within all of these things that he does, it is God who's going to lead them in the right path. Verse 11, "For the honor of your name, O Lord, forgive my many, many sins." That's like Psalm 23, verse 3. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. So, for the honor of your name. So, once I am forgiven, I'm not going to take the glory, but I'm going to say it is because of God and God alone, not for anything that I have done. I don't know about you, but I'm so grateful that God forgives my sins. That forgave the sins of my youth. Trust me, I thank God for that. But the only way He can do that is if we ask of Him and we give ourselves to Him. So, like I said, that's Psalm 25 in reading in that instance, that David comes to God and cries out to God for wisdom and for guidance and for forgiveness. Don't know how you started. I don't know where you are right now, but trust me, if you want the world to get better, if you do not want your enemies to get the better of you this year, because verse 19 says, "See how many enemies I have, and how viciously they hate me. Protect me, rescue me, my life from them." It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you got going on. No, what I want to say is, we will meet enemies in this life, and they will defeat us unless we have a stronger person guarding and protecting us than them. There's only one stronger than anyone else, and that's Jesus Christ. So let's consider giving our lives to Jesus, asking Him to take over our life, asking for guidance, direction, and what's the other one? And wisdom. That's it. God bless you.